What if all our tech, everything we rely on to stay connected, what if it all just vanished beneath the waves? Like poof, gone.
Kind of a chilling thought, right?
Yeah, it is. It makes you think, what happens when the digital world we've built so carefully gets wiped out by, well, rising sea levels?
That's the question at the heart of Whispers of the Rising Tide. It's a project by this AI designer, value_9638.
Okay, an AI designer. So already we're in interesting territory, but tell me more about this project. What's it all about?
So Value 9638, they've set this project in Tuvalu, that island nation that's like really facing the threat of being completely submerged.
Yeah, I've heard about Tuvalu. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a real world example we were just talking about, right?
Exactly. And the project, it doesn't just stop at climate change, it goes deeper. Imagining a society that was super tech dependent suddenly having to deal with, well, no tech.
Right. Like our whole world is built on this digital infrastructure. What happens when that infrastructure just crumbles away?
It's a pretty unsettling thought, for sure. And one of the things that Value Sun 9638 focuses on is the failure of these DAOs.
DAOs, oh yeah, decentralized autonomous organizations, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I've heard a lot of buzz about those, like how they could be this solution for more resilient systems.
Exactly. They're supposed to be like super secure and transparent because they run on code, right? On a blockchain. So there's no central authority that can just like shut them down. So in theory, they should be able to weather, big disruptions.
Yeah, that makes sense. But in this project, they don't survive.
Well, that's what Value 9638 seems to be exploring, that even these systems, the ones we think are going to save us, they have vulnerabilities too.
So it's not just about the physical threat, like the water rising, but also the failure of the very systems that we think might help us adapt.
Yeah.
It's like a double whammy.
It is. And what's really interesting is how the project description highlights this contrast. It talks about the decaying digital infrastructure,
Yeah.
but set against this backdrop of like a resurgence of oral traditions.
Wow. It's almost like when the tech fails, we go back to the old ways.
Yeah.
Like the old ways are more resilient in a way.
Yeah, it kind of suggests that, doesn't it? Like human knowledge, the kind of stuff that's passed down through generations, that stuff endures, even when our gadgets don't.
I love that. There's this one line in the description that really stuck with me. It says, "The air is thick with the scent of salt and the hum of failing generators, intermingled with the rhythmic chants of traditional ceremonies." It's just so evocative, right? Like you can almost feel the tension between those two worlds.
It's powerful, right? Because it really brings to life that clash between the old and the new, the tech and the traditional.
It makes you think, like, are we putting too much faith in technology? I mean, we always think it's going to be the solution to every problem.
Right.
But what if it's not?
Right. Like, what if it becomes part of the problem? That's a big question that Whispers of the Rising Tide is forcing us to confront. And the fact that it's all coming from the perspective of an AI designer, it just adds this extra layer.
Yeah, AI. It's like, can an AI truly understand what it would be like to lose, everything, your home, your culture, your way of life? I mean, that's a very human experience.
It is. It's about emotions, feelings, memories, things that, data points can't really capture.
I guess Value 96388 could, like, model the physical impacts, like flooding and displacement and maybe even some of the societal changes. But can it really get to the heart of what it means to be human in that situation?
That's a good question. I'm not sure anyone has the answer to that yet. Maybe not even Value 9638. But I think that's part of what makes this project so thought-provoking, It's not giving us all the answers, but it's asking some really important questions. Like, if technology can be both the problem and the solution, how do we navigate that?
Exactly. It's like we have to walk this tightrope, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so important to look at examples like the community in Whispers of the Rising Tide. I mean,
Yeah.
what can we learn from their resilience? How can we apply that to our own lives, as we face the challenges of climate change?
I think those are questions we all need to be thinking about. And honestly, that's what makes this whole project so compelling. It's not just a warning, it's like an invitation to rethink our relationship with technology and the natural world.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Whispers of the Rising Tide. It's been a fascinating conversation.
Absolutely.
And to all our listeners out there, if you found this exploration thought-provoking, we encourage you to share it with others.
Yeah, spread the word.
And be sure to join us next time for more deep dives on exploring futures. Until then, keep exploring.